world is open and full of adventure, connected by hundreds of cultures and beliefs, fueled by the curiosity of young minds, and shaped by leaders brave enough to explore new ways of thinking and living. People who creatively solve problems and continuously reinvent themselves. We gather from around the world to live and study together. Our community forges friendships that last a lifetime and make the entire world feel like home. This is a place where motivation meets opportunity. Opportunity to live and study among different cultures of Europe, America, Asia, and beyond. Where curious minds learn how to solve problems creatively. Where we learn how to become a professional for a lifetime. A professional who is able to shift and adapt to the ever-changing reality of tomorrow. We are LCC, a North American university in the heart of Europe, full of opportunities and adventure, a place to start. Take a brave step into the world. Join LCC International University.
Greetings from LCC International University. My name is Leila and I'll be one of your hosts today.
Hello, my name is Gevorg and I'll be one of your hosts too. Both of us, Saule and I, are LCC students. And we are so excited to tell you more about LCC. Today, you will hear why LCC is such a unique place and why our students are choosing LCC and what we can offer you.
Yeah, I think today we'll have a very informative and interesting time together. I just would like to tell you that throughout the event you can ask any questions. You just have to go to slido.com, enter the code, and leave your question there. And also if you're connecting from YouTube or Facebook, you can leave your questions in the comments below, and our admissions counselors will answer there.
Yes, Saule. Questions are always welcome. Indeed, at LCC we are more than encouraged to ask questions during classes or at every situation. Since we talk about questions, our prospective students might wonder who we are. But we introduced our names, yet we have not introduced them more about ourselves. So shall we?
Yes, I think you're right. And I can go first. So I am a first-year student at LCC. I'm studying psychology. I come from Kazakhstan. I really love baking and learning new things every day and traveling and also trying different flavors of ice cream from all over the world.
That's so sweet. Sounds good. Also, already know that I'm Gevorg and I come from Armenia. I'm a student at Business Administration faculty and I'm a big fan of creative marketing and advertisement. Since we have introduced ourselves, I think it's time to introduce you to LCC. We have our own hashtag. It is WHYLCC. So let's hear why LCC.
Greetings to all of you. I am Marlene Wall. I'm the president here at LCC International University. And I am so excited to welcome you to this opportunity to share a little bit about who we are at LCC. So, first of all, let me just tell you why I'm here. I'm actually one of those crazy people that doesn't know how to answer the question, where are you from? When people ask me, where are you from? I answer like this. I was born in Montevideo, Uruguay. I am a Canadian citizen, so my passport is from Canada. All of my high school years and my high school graduation were in Asuncion, Paraguay. All of my university life, bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctoral degree, were from the United States. And that's where I began my professional career. And now I'm in Lithuania for my 19th year. So, where am I from? All of that matters to me when I speak to you about LCC because LCC is home. And LCC is home because of that absolutely wonderful, diverse student body that comes from everywhere. And so as I'm talking to you now, I don't even know what countries you're all in, but I'm so excited to learn that. And so I'm eager to meet you, and I do hope that that happens in the fall. So let me tell you a little bit about LCC. We sometimes talk about certain key words that help describe who we are as a university. The first one that I would like to refer to is the word Christian. LCC is a Christian university. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we have a Christian foundation, a Christian set of principles that guide how we act, that guide how we live together, that guide how we are kind to each other and live together in community. And it helps us to know where we value that ethical lifestyle, that lifestyle of integrity. How do we value, and where do those values even come from? Now, it's also important to say that at LCC, we welcome everyone. We welcome everyone from any faith perspective and from no faith perspective. Everyone is welcome at LCC, but you're coming to a Christian university for very clear reasons. So that's number one. Number two, we are a liberal arts university. We're a liberal arts university. What does that mean? It doesn't refer to art, and it doesn't refer to liberal versus conservative. It actually means that it's a style of education that helps us to look at the broad base of a multidisciplinary education. So every student, for example, will take a class in conflict transformation. Every student will take a class in literature. Every student will take classes in ethics, in worldview. It doesn't matter whether you're studying as a business student or a psychology student or a international relations student. All students at LCC have that core. But more than the common classes that we also take together is what we focus on for our graduates. So I often say that a graduate from LCC leaves as a T-shaped graduate. What does that mean? Well, the T is made up of a deep understanding of your area, your discipline, what you are studying, whether business, psychology, communication, etc. But it also includes the important extras, soft skills we sometimes refer to them as, of interpersonal communication, international and intercultural communication, public speaking, the ability to share your ideas and be a critical thinker. All of those pieces are as important as the depth of your discipline. So we want you as a graduate to be a T-shaped graduate. That's liberal arts education. LCC, number 3, is an international university. We have that in our name, LCC International University. We are so excited about that international community because we believe that we learn to be citizens of the world in ways that other universities may not be able to teach. So when you are in a class, or when you are in a residence hall room, or you are playing on the basketball court with people from other countries, you're learning. You're learning in all of those moments. When you're cooking together, you're learning. And so when we have students from over 50 countries, it matters how we live together and how we deal with issues of conflict and peace, of justice, and all of those make all of us better citizens of the world. So we value that international perspective. Number 4, while we are international, we are very much decidedly North American style. Now, what does that refer to? That is definitely the way that we structure the classes, the way that we structure the syllabus, the way that we structure the interaction in the classroom between professors and students, the way that we develop the educational model that you actually then leave with. It feels like a North American style of education. And that leads directly into number 5, which is relational. We are a relational university. At LCC, I am not Dr. Wall. My name is Marlene. And I value that level of relationship that I can build with students. At LCC, I expect that very likely in your first year, you will come to my house for dinner because we believe in that relational model of education where we are all learning together. And so for us, it is the importance of your voice matters in the classroom, in the hallways, in the residence halls, in my office, in my house. We care about the individual and the relational atmosphere that we can create. And the 6th item that we usually use to describe LCC is philanthropic. That's a big word, and it really refers to a mentality of giving. And so at LCC, I will often say that we want students who are the right students for LCC. And if that means that you are in need of certain kinds of additional funding, whether that's need-based or merit-based, we can help you find that. Now, it doesn't mean that we can give every student everything that they want, but we care about you and the ability to pay for your education. But what we also want is for you as a student here to volunteer, to be a person who gives to the community, to give to the university. And when you graduate, we would love to think that you would be an alumnus who would give back to your university because you are proud of the education that you have received and you want to help the next generation of students to also be successful at LCC. So I welcome you. I hope that we can meet each other in September or August, and I look forward to having you in my house for dinner next year.
Wow, I see that we have people from all over the world: Ukraine, Nepal, Belarus, Finland, UK, Philippines, Belarus. Wow, guys, you are amazing. Well, I came to LCC because of its North American style of education, and when I found out that it's also like Christian liberal arts university, I became even more interested. Gevorg, why did you choose LCC?
Well, that's such an interesting question. It's really hard to answer in a really short period of time. But I'll try to. Before I arrived to LCC, I did not know what's a community, what it stands for, and that word, when I was searching, was always showing up on the website and all the promotional materials. So when I received a package from an email, actually, from admissions office, which included a journal, pictures, information, and more information, what is LCC and how the community works there, who are there, who are the professors, it got me. And this was the push that forced me to apply to LCC. And now we are here in Klaipeda at LCC International University.
Yeah, well, LCC is a great place to experience that community. And when I speak to our current students, they always say that the reason why they chose LCC was community. So let's find out what LCC community is like.
Welcome to LCC International University. My name is Margarita and I'm Vice President of Student Life here at LCC. And today I want to share with you 5 things what it means to be a part of LCC community. When you come to LCC, you'll be part of international community. Students come to LCC from more than 50 countries, and they have an opportunity not only to share the traditions and learn more about the histories of other countries, but also to develop intercultural communication and build up on their cultural competence, a skill that is highly valued right now among employers around the world. When you come to LCC, you become a part of the relational community. We, staff and instructors, seek to get to know our students on a personal basis and develop friendships with them. We also seek to create opportunities for students to do the same. You probably would agree that university years are the best years of a lifetime, and that is because of the relationships that you develop with your friends. In our housing, we have about 70% of our students, but our housing is not just accommodation and the beds where you sleep. We create communities on each floor, and on every floor there is a little family that play, learn, study together and develop various skills that are so valuable after graduation. When you come to LCC, you're also part of the learning community. At LCC, we believe that learning happens not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. You only spend about 30% of your time in auditorium learning the academic things. However, outside of the classroom, you spend about 70% of time interacting with your peers. And we, Student Life, seek to structure those interactions so that you could continue developing your skills and building up on your competencies. For example, we have Student Success Center. In the Student Success Center, we have career counselor who will help you to discover your talents, learn what your skills are strongest, will help you locate best practical experience as well as employment experience in the summer. Our success tutors also help with academic support. They help you with your writing, they help you with your math, they also organize various workshops where you can learn on how to manage your time better. They also organize study groups before exams. Study times can be pretty stressful. That's why we have counselors who also help you get through those stressful times, as well as help you develop the skills to deal better with stress, deal with anxiety, and in general, take care of your mental health. When you come to LCC, you also become part of the sustainable community. We encourage students to be active citizens in the world. LCC does not exist in the bubble. That's why we encourage students to take part in various projects on and off campus through volunteering and other leadership initiatives to provide positive influence in communities around them. When you come to LCC, you're also part of the Christ-centered community. We adopt an invitational approach to faith dialogue, and doesn't matter which faith background you come from, would like to learn more about why you believe what you believe, what forms your worldview, but also we seek to worship God and to better understand what it means to be the disciples of Christ in the global world and how faith affects our behavior. I hope you enjoyed my introduction, and it has given you a glimpse of LCC. We hope to see you on campus in August and welcoming you in the LCC community.
LCC student life is truly vibrant, and one of the examples for that is Gevorg and I. I was an events coordinator in student council this year, and I also served as a Bible study leader on my floor in residence hall. And next year I'm really excited to be a discipleship assistant.
That's great. That sounds really interesting, actually. Well, the significance and the importance of being a community at LCC is a priority for me, and I hope it's the same for every student at LCC International University. Also, having friends from different countries just makes your experience at LCC unbelievable, and it's so wonderful being surrounded with different people and different cultures. Well, with all the soft skills and experiences that are significant and play a huge role for me in my future career development, the main reason we come to university is, at the end of the day, to earn a degree and learn more about our chosen major.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, LCC is a liberal arts university, and it offers 6 different bachelor's degrees in international business management, international relations and development, contemporary communication, psychology, theology, and English language and literature. And they all are taught on campus.
LCC also offers 2 master programs, Masters in Management and Masters in TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages. These master's programs are designed for working individuals and are taught online, but with some occasional meetings during the academic year on campus. Now, I would like to invite you to watch and listen what our professors and students have to share with you about our bachelor's program.
My name is Robin Gingrich, and I'm the chair of the English department here at LCC. If you love words, stories, languages, and people, this major is definitely for you. With an English degree, there are so many opportunities, both in Lithuania and around the world. You can become a teacher, an author, a translator, or an interpreter. You can work in advertising or communication, almost anything that involves words and people. Our alumni are very successful. Some have jobs in schools as teachers, some are translators or interpreters, some work in NGOs, and others work in human resources. Other alumni are enrolled in PhD programs in studies like literature or cultural studies.
Hi, my name is Edya, and I'm an English major at LCC. This semester, I'm doing my practicum with the Student Success Center. As English majors, we have a wide selection of careers we can pursue after graduating. Some students continue their higher education, some students become copy editors, writers, or even teachers. When I graduate LCC, I'd like to pursue my education in educational management.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Jones. I'm a professor of communication here at LCC International University. And I want to tell you that there are so many things you can do with a degree in contemporary communication. Our current alumni do everything from social media marketing, directors of marketing, customer service, to working with preschool children. Anything you want to do, a communication degree will prepare you for. And if you want some more specific guidelines, stop by my office in DeFair 122, where I have a poster that lists a lot of the opportunities that you can take advantage of as a contemporary communication major. In fact, there's even a couple of red marks to show things that I have done. I look forward to seeing you around campus.
My name is Vidmante. I am from Lithuania and I major in contemporary communications here at LCC International University. I chose this major specifically because I always knew that I wanted to work with people, work in teams, and just constantly keep moving and not falling into routine. So I think this major fits perfectly for me. And for the past 2 years here, I had a chance to experience working with administrative job, events, planning and organizing, working in theaters with management. So I had a very broad experience here. So after graduation, I really hope to work in human resources or still with events planning or organizing.
Hello, I'm Dr. Douglas Puffert. I'm chair of the Department of International Business Administration at LCC. In the business department, we teach everything that's related to effectively leading a business or other organization. Everything from surveying the market and what potential customers and clients might desire, and down to the practical details of accounting and finance. With a business degree from LCC, you'll be equipped to start your own business or to be an effective and ethical leader in a larger organization, whether it be a business organization or, for that matter, a nonprofit or governmental organization. There are many things that you can do with a business degree.
Hello, my name is Maria and I'm a senior business student. This year, I'm writing my thesis in the field of marketing and planning to do my practicum in business research. Any business major student can have a career in virtually any field, starting with medicine, continuing to arts, as an HR manager, finance analyst, or a CEO of a company. After my graduation, I would like to pursue a career in marketing and start as a junior marketing manager in an IT startup.
Hi, I'm Michael Cox. I teach theology here at LCC. A theology degree doesn't just give you skills for doing ministry. It shapes you into the kind of person who lives faithfully. Now, a theology degree can help you get a job in a church or Christian organization, or you can go to grad school to study theology. And many of our students have done this kind of thing. But I want to encourage you to consider a concentration in theology. Now, what this means is that you would take a major in another major like communication or business, and then you would use your electives to take courses in theology. You graduate from LCC with a degree with skills and opportunities in communication or business, and you would have perspectives and ideas for living faithfully as a Christian in those jobs.
Hi, this is Robin Mubarak, and I'm studying theology in LCC International University. Why I chose to study theology? Because I love human rights. I want to be an advocate for human rights. I love helping people. I love serving them. And to get the motivation to love others, I believe Bible is the best book. And I was wanting to study it more and more in a deep sense. That's why I'm doing my theology. In future, I want to work in United Nations, and I want to advocate for the people who are vulnerable, who are struggling with violence, those who have no voice. That's why I'm doing theology, because I think with theology and my human rights education, I can change the world.
Hello, I am Dr. Scott Newman. I am the chair of the Department of International Relations and Development. In IRD, we start out with a grounding in political science and then focus that into study of international relations, which is the relationship between countries, and also development, which is a study of the process of how countries develop their economies, their social structures, how they come together. Now, we want to prepare you for either government service or work with non-governmental organizations. You can sort of get an idea of where you can go with this by looking at our practicums. We've had students do internships in their country's foreign ministries, in embassies, in the European Union organization, and in non-governmental organizations, with any range of activities from local government through advocacy for women's rights. If these things interest you, if you're interested in how to make countries live with each other better, how to help countries develop themselves, then this is a major you should consider.
Hey there, my name is Edward and I'm a senior studying international relations and development. This summer I did a really interesting internship in Brussels at the European Christian Political Movement, which is a European political party. And I helped them to research how European parties communicate, and also did some writing on human dignity. I really like this major because it helps me understand how government and society interact and how people's voices can be heard. And in the future, I'm looking forward to working both in private and public sector.
Hi, my name is Yulia Gaiduk and I teach psychology here at LCC. So what can you do with a psychology major? First of all, in order to be a professional, independently working psychologist in Europe, you need a master's degree. This is why many of our students continue their education and go on to get master's or even PhD degrees. However, even with a BA degree, you can be an assistant psychologist, do research, or work in schools. You can also work in the area of HR and marketing, where you will use the knowledge to gain here.
Hello, I am Charlotta from Lithuania and I'm a third-year student in the psychology major. And it's not only a field where you work only with counseling or only with mental illnesses. You can work as a health psychologist, you can work in education, you can work in counseling, you can even work in a business environment like I did. You can even become an HR or really reach out the world. Psychology is needed in every community, in every country, everywhere, because psychologists are needed not only for people who have problems, but they're needed for everyone. And I think it's a very universal field that's very beneficial to our community.
I hope that this video was very informative and help you to understand better what each program offers at LCC. And I just would like to remind you to leave your questions, if you have any, at slido.com, and we will try to answer them here.
And we can take a few moments to answer to a few of the questions. They're pretty interesting ones, but we wanted to highlight the most, important information that we can provide you right now. And one of the questions was, is there an age limit to apply to LCC International University? Actually, we don't have an age limit, but you have to be finishing your high school education. So that's pretty simple. And another question that I can answer is, can I have 2 majors if I like a few programs? And can I have a minor? If you like many majors, you can have a major degree and also have a minor degree. So, for example, for me, I have a business major and I'm also a minor in psychology. So, this is really simple, but you don't get a degree in business and in psychology, but you get a diploma in business, which also mentions that you had a minor in psychology And because of that, you are also able to take few classes from psychology, also general electives. So it all comes together at the end of the day. So what about yours? I know you are from psychology department.
Yeah. Well, I'm majoring in psychology and I'm finishing my freshman year right now. This year I basically studied a lot of like basic things from psychology, like human development or introduction to psychology or social psychology. In psychology major, we will study many different things. It's a very broad major. We will study like clinical psychology, abnormal psychology, biological psychology, and like family and marriage even. So it's a very broad major. But our junior and senior year, like our third and fourth year, we can choose other courses from like other majors. So if you want to take classes from communications major or English major, you can do that as well. Yeah, I'm very excited for my next year, and I know that I will have practicum, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, psychology major is very interesting.
Studies are pretty fun, and you have a choice of many classes from different departments. So when you are here, you will have the options. So now, please check the Slido. You can ask us questions at any time you want. We'll get back to them and we'll try to answer as many questions as we are able to during this live stream. And for the moment now, we have a short video of our alumni and we want to share how LCC impacted them and where are they now and what are they doing. So here we go.
LCC was the best thing that happened, truly. I know that I wouldn't be where I am now without LCC. I know that. It is a place of community. It is a place of inclusivity. It is a place of growth, safe growth, and critical thinking. So, I mean, I'm going to be one-sided. I'm like, if you're thinking about LCC, do it, right? Like, do it really, because it is a place that offers a different kind of education in Lithuania and in surrounding countries. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just so subjective. I love LCC, and I have these very strong relationships. I've met people here that I met at LCC. You know, Americans that were visiting and studying at LCC, and we'll still continue our relationships. And it is tremendously meaningful. It's meaningful.
It's not the question whether LCC should be considered or not. Of course, it should be. It has so many opportunities to offer. And I would say by being in such a small country, in such a unique part of the world, it gives its own advantages across all the other maybe universities, if there is something that you compare. For those of you watching or having doubts whether you should go or you should try, always, of course, I would just like to encourage to not to snooze, not to be passive, but actually give it a try, give it a shot. It's a lovely place to be at, and I think you will be successful as long as you really want it and you give it a try and you give it the best that you have. Both LCC and Lithuania is a country with quite many opportunities to offer and opportunities to be grabbed, so just make sure you don't snooze on them.
LCC fundamentally shaped who I am, because I was, I think, a different person after high school graduation when I entered LCC, after 4 years when I left LCC. From graduation from my high school, I was extremely shy. I was not expressing my opinion. I was always more in the silent. But at LCC, the overall situation, the engagement that we had with professors, I remember so vividly. Baking lasagna with Phyllis and Dave Rhodes and with the other students around us, and it was something like coming from like the school that you and your teachers and like professors do something like this. It was completely unimaginable coming back from the high school. And I think this overall connection that you are like partners to discuss topics together. And I think LCC truly gave this this ground to flourish, because we are almost like forced at the beginning. So what do you think about it? Like, why do you think this way? And this constant push for critical thinking, for argumentation, it just became part of who we are. And I know for my own, I didn't have it, or I didn't know I had it before coming to LCC.
LCC alumni are truly inspiring.
Well, yes. I wonder where I'll be in 10 years from now. That's a pretty interesting and broad question, though. So, we thank you all for all the questions that you are asking in Facebook, YouTube, and Slido. And we can review a few of them right now. And there is a question: if accepted, where will I stay in Lithuania? Well, LCC on campus has dormitories, 2 of them, 2 buildings, Newman and Enns. So you will have a choice to choose where you will be living, with how many roommates from different countries, and that's really cool. I used to live in Newman building for 2 years, and for a few months I also lived in Enns. So we have a place for you to stay in Lithuania. And I also have another question: what I can do when I don't study? Like, are there any sports or clubs that I can get involved? Usually when we don't study, we sleep or eat, but we have many clubs, activities, events happening at LCC. And that's where the community comes together. We have talent nights, we have barbecue events, we have so many meetings and informal classes, so you'll never get bored at LCC.
Yeah, okay, so let's shift our gear, and we will give some information about like how to become a student at LCC. So Gevorg and I will go through some steps that you have to follow to come and be a student and join us at LCC.
Well, admissions accept and work on your applications on rolling basis. So what does it mean? It means when you apply, your application is accepted and a counselor is attached to your application to process it and guide you through the whole application until you are accepted. So there are few important dates to remember for admissions. The early admissions for September intake is January 30th. Late application deadline is April 15th. And the final application deadline for international students is June 30th. For Lithuanians, can apply through June and August month if there are any places left. So keep in mind January 30th, April 15th, and June 30th. If you decide to apply for January intake, then the deadline for application for bachelor programs is November 15th. So take a note and start your application right away.
Yeah, but this doesn't mean that you have to sit and wait till the last day, right? So the earlier you apply, the earlier you will get your decision and the more financial aid opportunities you will have. And I saw that many of you are having so many questions about the application process. So what do you have to do in order to apply? First of all, you have to fill out an online application form and attach all the necessary documents. Those documents include, you have to submit your grades for the past 3 years or your high school diploma. Then also don't forget about your English proficiency test, which is like IELTS, TOEFL, Pearson. We also accept Duolingo. Then you also have to attach a copy and a picture of your passport. And that's basically it. And once we receive all your application and documents and all of that things, our admissions counselor, they will set up an interview with our admissions committee. And that's basically it. Then you just have to wait for the decision.
Yeah, sounds pretty simple and easy. So don't waste your time. Start your applications right now. But an important piece of information: the document requirements may differ depending on which country you are coming from. But if you have any questions or something is not clear, feel free to contact admissions office and our counselors will be more than happy to help you and answer all of your questions.
Yeah, the steps are very easy. But at this point, you're probably wondering, how does it cost to study at LCC? And are there any financial aid or scholarships that are available for you? So for that information, let's listen to our Student Finance Office Director, who will give us a little bit more information about that. So let's listen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leila, and I represent Student Financial Services. The primary objective of Student Financial Services is to assist you and your families in planning and meeting expenses associated with attendance of LCC. The purpose of our office is to do everything we can to put it all together financially. Today, I'll briefly talk you through about financial aid opportunities at LCC, also about the summer job possibilities, and of course, what are expenses associated with attendance to the university. I will try not to overcrowd you with unnecessary information, but of course, there are some important facts that our future students should know. So give me some time, I'll share my presentation and we will continue. So I'm sure that by this time you came across what are tuition fees at LCC, but this is just a quick recap. So tuition for 21-22 academic year is 3,240 euros for 60 ECTS credits. This is a regular full-time student loan. Prime program costs less. It's half of the tuition of BA program, and the cost for the year is 1,620 euros. I do believe that we might have students who are interested not in our bachelor programs, but in our master programs. And tuition for international management program is 7,000 euros for the 2-year program. And then tuition price for the TESOL program is 5,000 euros, again, for the 2 years for the whole program. The price for the housing depends where students live, and the price varies from 375 euros per semester up to 525 euros per semester. More detailed information you see on the screen. And so you can pay for the tuition and housing expenses per semester. And as you see, so there are fall semester deadlines and spring semester deadlines. The deadline for the fall semester is August 20th, and the deadline for spring semester is December 20th. If you feel that you cannot pay for the whole semester at once, you can apply for the payment schedule, and it will allow you to pay in 3 parts, equal parts, and each installment being due on the dates that you see on the screen. So for the fall semester, it's August 15, September 15, and then the October 15. And then the same logic is for the spring semester. When students do plan their education, they plan paying for the tuition and housing, but always we say, do not forget to budget for the living expenses. And of course, living expenses depends on the student needs, because every student's needs are different. And when we talk with the students, some students, it's enough to spend only 80 euros a month. But then for other students, they need to spend around 300 euros a month. But we as a university, we are saying that you can budget around 190 euros for 1 month here in Lithuania. Let's talk about financial aid. And the fundamental financial aid philosophy at LCC is to make it possible for all students to attend LCC regardless of the financial circumstances. And this year, 62% of our students received some sort of financial aid. And at LCC, we have 3 types of financial aid. We have need-based aid, we have merit-based scholarships, and then we have other scholarships. And need-based aid is based on the documented need, merit-based scholarship is based on the academic achievements, and then we have other types of scholarships. And often we receive a question, so how much financial aid I will receive? And it is a difficult question to answer, as it depends on the financial aid type, and also it depends on individual student situation. Thus, we calculated an average financial aid for the incoming freshmen. And this year, the average was 43%. Talking about financial aid, so we have over 20 different financial aid options available at LCC, and 13 scholarships are for the first year students, incoming freshman students, and then we have around 13 scholarships and grants for the consecutive year. Let's focus most on the need-based aid, because most of our students do receive need-based aid. So in order to receive need-based aid, students need to apply and fill out the application form, and then submit the documents. And then when we evaluate, we have two criteria. We look at the need in the family, and then we look at the admission score. And those two criteria are equally weighted 50% each. And as you see, there are predefined limits how much you can receive based on the university year. So the maximum tuition discount available for the freshman students is 90% tuition discount. And as you see, the maximum decreases over the years. Let's continue with the merit-based scholarships for the incoming freshmen. And as you see, the first one is Kenneth and Helen Penner Scholarship. We award a student with the highest admission score, and that student receives 100% tuition discount for the 4 years. And then we have scholar awards. We have Ukraine Scholar Award, Caucasus Scholar Award, and International Scholar Awards. And we reward 12 students, and they receive 100% tuition discount. And there is a specific application form the students need to fill out, and a student have to have a high admission score. But no worries, admissions counselors are going to contact you at the beginning of May, and if you are eligible, you will be informed by admissions counselor. Then we have LCC Leadership Scholarship. 2 students who are very active and who have a leadership potential are eligible for the scholarship and receive 50% tuition discount. Again, the process will start at the beginning of May, and if you're eligible, you will be eligible to apply. I want right now to talk about students from Lithuania. So Lithuanian students who apply through Lama BPO and who later on are awarded like study stipend or studio stipendia, automatically will receive Lithuania Scholar Award, because study stipend is lower comparing to our tuition price. So as a result, we want that those students will study for free, and we cover the difference between LCC's tuition, and we cover the difference between study stipend. Also, as it is indicated in the presentation, our returning students as well are eligible for the scholarships. And the first one is President Leadership Scholarship. This is the most prestigious scholarship at LCC. During the freshman year already, 4 students are selected for the scholarship and receive 100% tuition discount. And then, as you see, we do have a department scholarships where we focus on students' ethical behavior in class and whether they are interested in their majors. And again, later on, we will give more detailed information. Right now, I don't want to overcrowd with unnecessary information, but just keep in mind that we do have scholarship available for our returning students as well. So what about other grants and scholarships? So, of course, for the incoming freshmen, so this is you guys. Students who are very active at the church and at the church communities are eligible for this grant, and 2 students will receive 50% tuition discount. There is a specific application form, and as all the scholarships and grants, we will start the process at the beginning of May, and you will receive more detailed information from your counselor. Then we do have a basketball grant for both women and men, because we have a Moose basketball team here on campus. And this grant is given to the students by the basketball coach recommendation, who meet not only expectations, behavioral expectations, but also academic expectations and the team expectations. And those students receive up to 90% tuition discount and up to 50% housing discount. And if you decide to study at LCC together with your brother or sister, you are eligible for the sibling grant. And the sibling grant goes on top of any financial aid available at LCC. And students are eligible for the sibling grant as long as they study together with their brother or sister. Then we do have a Georgia grant. And this grant is given to incoming freshmen who live in Georgia and who finish the high school from Georgia. And this grant is 20% tuition discount for first academic year. And for returning students, we have possibilities as well. We have a Peace Studies grant, so 2 students receive 50% tuition discount. Then we have Alumni grant, where our distinguished alumni are giving this grant. And we have a resident assistantship grant. A resident assistantship grant is usually during the 2nd and 3rd year, when students are living in our housing, they help our RDs, and this grant is given to the students. Okay, so on top of the scholarships and financial aid opportunities, we do encourage the students to find ways how to help invest in their education themselves. And some LCC students find employment during the academic year and during the summer as well. And we do have a career development center, and they assist students with finding employment both on campus and off campus. So we do understand that right now it's a pandemic situation, and but looking at the regular year, so the most popular summer program, work program, is Work and Travel USA, and participants participate there, and they go to US for 4 months and work at the US host companies, and they are able to get not only save money for the covering tuition and housing expenses, but also they get valuable experience there as well. And also to help our students, we have a microloan opportunities. So students who are struggling financially, but they want to go to Work and Travel and work there, they apply for the microloan. And this microloan helps to pay for the tickets and other expenses in order for students being able to go to Work and Travel USA. Of course, students need to return that loan when they come back, but this is a good help for the students if students are struggling financially. Another option would be Greece. So students work in Greece for 3-4 months in summer jobs like at the hotels, restaurants, cafes, and both EU and non-EU students are eligible going to Greece and working there. And then we have on-campus employment. LCC currently employs around 30 students on campus in various positions, and in positions like assistants, receptionists, and in that way they are getting the experience, and also they are saving some money and investing in their education. And we do offer like off-campus employment, and as I said, we do have Career Development Center who works with a number of companies and organizations to locate jobs outside LCC. But please know that usually during the freshman year, we do suggest students to focus on the studies, and then focus on the finding a job off campus only during the second year. So this is the short information that I wanted to present about financial aid possibilities at LCC. So what are the costs associated with attendance at LCC, and also what are summer job opportunities. If you do have questions, please contact us, and also you can contact your admissions counselor, as they are the face of LCC at this point, and they know all the information, and they are the ones who are in contact with you guys. So always you can send your question to admissions counselor, and they are going to be happy to assist you. Thank you so much for your attention, and have a great day.
Thank you, Leila, for the information provided. And now, next to me, I have Admissions Office Director Vidmante. Welcome.
Hello.
And we're gonna try to answer to mostly all of your questions and try to provide as much information as possible about the admissions and the life at LCC.
Yes, we keep tracking the comments and questions that you are asking on our social media, as well as on our Slido. app. So again, it's a reminder, if you have a question, it's better if you ask your question through Slido, and you can see the information how to connect there, because then we will have all questions in one place and we'll be able to track down and answer your questions.
So, Vidmante, thank you for joining today. And we tried to cover as much as possible about the admissions process. Maybe you want to add anything about the admissions that we missed, or how the process works generally, and how much time does it take to get an admissions letter?
Yes, so as you presented earlier, admissions counselors work on a rolling basis, and we have several admissions deadlines, which you have to keep in mind. So if you're now considering applying for the September intake, then you have to already rush and apply. The final deadline is June 30th. This is our final deadline for international students. This year, for some reason, we have received so many applications, so it's better, the sooner you apply, the better. Then you can secure your spot in the university. And Lithuanian students may also apply through June and July months because they are local ones and it's less paperwork. So that's why they can apply through July and August. And August would be, we are not sure if we will have still spaces, so it's better for you also to apply as early as possible. As you mentioned, the steps are quite simple. So students have to fill in an application form online, submit your high school grades for the last 3 years if you are still in high school. But if you're already a school graduate, so you can attach your final high school diploma, your high school transcripts and examination results. So the documents that you have, a passport copy, you have to have an international passport, one picture, English proficiency test result, because all our language, instruction language is entirely English, so we communicate in English, we write papers in English, we do everything in English, right?
We live in English.
Yes. So that's why we have to make sure that you have the right level of English in order to be a successful student at LCC. So we accept IELTS and TOEFL, and temporarily we accept Duolingo English tests. So if you choose to take Duolingo English tests, we would also ask you to write LCC essay. That is for free. So the essay writing part is for free. So we will contact you regarding these things. So once we receive the documents, once we receive your application form, then we invite you for an interview. And so once we have the documents, once we interview you, and if nothing is missing, then we make admissions decision within 10 working days. And then in order to accept our university offer, so if you receive a positive response from us, if we say that, yes, Gevorg, you are admitted, then you have to make admissions deposit payment by June 15th in order to secure your spot. And this is sort of a gesture that, yes, I accept your offer. And in this way, then we are able to work on visa papers, then you can apply for housing, and then you'll receive all other logins for further communication.
That's amazing. Like, I remember the day I got my interview scheduled and Vidmante was asking me questions, so now we switched the places, so I'm the one asking the questions today. So thank you for the information. There was a question actually about the deposit you already answered, but there is also additional question. So there is a requirement of English proficiency, but is there a requirement for SAT exams or math proficiency exams?
Yes. That's a good question. Well, when students apply, and every student who graduated from high school, not in Lithuania, so their high school diplomas have to be submitted for qualification recognition. So we, as a university, we have to make sure that you have the right qualification, the right documents that allow you to study in higher education institution. So in your case, if you're applying for a BA program, the main document that gives access to higher education in Lithuania is your high school, or in other words, your secondary education documents. So for various countries, there are various requirements because it differs. Different educational systems differ in different countries. So if you are asking about ACT, SAT, so if, for example, if you're coming from Georgia, Armenia, and you study according to your national curriculum, so no, then you would not have to take SAT or ACT. However, if you are in school in the United States, in Canada, or you are attending international high school that is that follows the American style educational model, so in this case, yes, then you would have to provide us with SAT or ACT score reports.
Great, thank you for the answers and the information provided. I just want to remind you, if you have any more questions, please feel free to scan the QR code and ask the questions in Slido and we'll try to answer them. So, what about the studies? Is it online or how it works? Like, we can try to answer this question together, and if you want, you can go first.
I guess that that question comes because we are in this circumstance when we have a pandemic happening, right? Yeah. So that's a very good question and very important question because, so we have moved online because according to national now regulations, we are not allowed to have classes in person and gather in groups, big groups. But in fall, like last fall, we still allowed students to arrive on campus, and some students are living on campus, living in resident halls and studying online while being on university campus. In fall semester, when the government still allowed us to have classes in person, so we were offering hybrid mode. So some students who were able to get on campus, we created safe environment for them to go and attend classes in person. And those students who had issues maybe with visa or they just chose to be safe at home, they were able to study online. So we were offering and that. So this fall we are also are offering hybrid modes for those students who maybe want to stay at home and be closer to their families because they want to help their family during the pandemic, or maybe they are not able to get visa on time, so these students will be able to start their studies online. But those students who will be able to get their visas, if they want to be on campus, we will try to do everything that you would be able to come to LCC and experience what it's like to be here. So then my question is, since you were a student, right? So now I'll interview you. So my question is, so since you were a student, that student who actually had to experience an online classes and how the university dealt with pandemic, so what was your experience? What would you tell to those who are thinking of coming?
I would answer this way. So the community that we talked about at LCC is all about being in person and attending the classes, being all together, and that's what makes LCC unique. But at the same time, considering the factors of COVID and this pandemic, we had no choice but to shift to online studies and be online. The life has been changed, so we try to adapt. Nevertheless, that doesn't mean that everything has changed. The community, the connection, being together, all that feelings has stayed, but it's only happening online through platforms. And we have many tools and platforms implemented at LCC that help you to go through all your studies during the semester, attend different events, not only the classes. So the whole overall experience is pretty interesting and it's pretty new. But we are hoping that this situation will get better and we'll be able to get back to normal and be in person and start communicating and become a real community again at LCC.
Mm-hmm. Since you mentioned the word community, our student life vice president Margarita, at the beginning of our event, she was sharing 5 things about our community and how active and vibrant our community is. And also you tried to answer the question because there was a question, what do students do after their classes, right? So there are many activities. We do sports and there are clubs that students can organize themselves and lead those clubs. They have, I don't know, what kind of clubs. What kind of clubs do you remember?
Oh, we have more than 20 clubs at LCC, and they are working with the student council. We have drama club, we have reading club, we have habits club, we have women empowerment club, chess club, everything. Anything that you have interest in, we have at LCC. So feel free to come and join.
And we also have leadership development programs. We put quite a great emphasis on our student leadership development, and students can become leaders and interns on campus. We also try to offer various volunteering opportunities for our students where they can actually go into the community and help community, and many other. Well, I know that you are newly elected student council president for the next academic year. And there is a question someone asked on our social media. So what does student council do, and how, and if someone wants to become a student council member, how could they do that?
Well, student council at LCC is a great entity. Every year, student council is being elected by the students who represent their student voices to the department, staff and faculty, and not only also concentrate on entertainment. So we have many events like Talent Night, TEDx LCC that are being organized by LCC Student Council, and they are just usual students, leaders in their communities, in their dorms, in the life at LCC. So to be a part of student council, you just need to get accepted to LCC. So it's pretty simple, and you can apply to any position because we have different like marketing, events coordinator, external relations. So if you are, for example, an international relations development major, that would be a great experience for you to start joining student council, trying to communicate with different representatives of universities, other universities, places, organizations. So just get the practicum also done at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And maybe you can tell a little more about what kind of sports are practiced, or about sports on campus.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question also, because we have two main sports. And as you know, Lithuania is really famous of its basketball, and we also have a football team. So if you have interest in either of them, so you can also pass through the selection, which take place every year in the beginning of the semester, and if you are successful, then you will be part of our LCC MUZ teams. So the basketball and the football teams are called LCC MUZ.
Okay. All right. We talked about on-campus activities, but we know that the question about work is quite important for students, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is a question: can I work on campus as a freshman during school days? And we had Leila, who was talking more about summer programs, employment on campus, off campus. And I truly know that it's an important question for the students. Well, during the first year, I would say that we do not advise working during the first year, because if you are especially an international student coming from different country, it's already quite an experience, overwhelming experience to be in different country, to take care of yourself, to get used to the study model, and also English. You know, for those who are not English native speakers, it might be overwhelming to do everything in English. You know, I remember when I was a student years ago, when it was my freshman year, and the first month, my head all the time felt like I had this big head. It was truly overwhelming, of course, pleasant, overwhelming, and building experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we say that in the first year we do not advise you to work, and of course, because of the legal things, during the first year when you arrive, you usually have your visa D. I'm not talking about EU students, but I'm more about non-EU students.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first year when you arrive, you have your visa D, and during the first year you apply for your temporary residence permit. And usually it takes half a year to get the residence permit. And only when you receive the temporary residence permit, then you are allowed to work during academic year 20 hours, and then during summertime 40 hours. Yeah, so that's a case. But when you're already in the second year, you're used to your study pace, you adapted to the environment. Then actually during the week, students have around 15 in-person classes, like contact person classes with your professor. So actually you spend only 15 hours per week in the classroom. Then you have to add 15-20 hours of homework. And then you have quite a lot of time. So actually you can work, you can be involved in different leadership activities or intercultural activities, or just spend time with your friends.
Yes, you actually have many choices available at LCC, working, helping others, joining clubs, or being even involved in organizations outside of LCC. So we have many partner companies that provide many different activities to our students as well. So important question about the admission, also a specific one, is the admissions deposit. Is there any certain amount that is fixed or?
Yes. So I mentioned before, when you receive a positive admissions decision, when you are accepted to university, then you have to make a non-refundable admissions deposit by June 15th if you are an international student. If you are local Lithuanian students, then you have to make the admissions deposit by July 15. So international students by June 15 and Lithuanians by July 15, as a gesture of accepting a university offer and securing your spot in a university. And this non-refundable admissions deposit is 300 euros. And that is actually not additional fee, but that actually is part of your tuition and housing fees.
Great, thank you for the information. Again, reminding you, if you have any questions, feel free to scan the QR code and type them in Slido. We are going through them at the moment and trying to answer all of them. So, and as Vidmante mentioned, if you are not an EU student, you come to LCC in your first semester with Visa D, and then our offices at LCC, officers, migration officers help you to organize your TRP, and you get a TRP, which is an official ID document, and with that you can already start working at LCC or be involved in different organizations, or even start your own business, hopefully, when you are graduating.
Yeah, there are a few questions from possible students who applied for one or another program, and they're asking about the status. Well, we are not able to tell the status because it's personal information. It's one thing, and I think we actually are not directly working with those applications, so unfortunately we cannot provide you with that information. What you can do, you can contact our university. You can email us at study@lcc.lt and find more detailed information, and then we will be able to help you help you in this way.
There is a question about being up to date about the information of LCC and the events taking place or the deadlines. So we have a newsletter, a platform where you can subscribe and get all the updates about our processes, admissions, events that are going to take place at LCC. So simply you can go to lcc.lt and find the information in our website.
Yes, or if you want to subscribe now, so on your screens now you'll see a slide with a QR code. That's another QR code that you can scan. You can take a picture of it, and that will take you to the form. The form will be called Need More Information. So you can leave your contacts, and if you have any questions, you can leave your questions there. If you don't have any questions, you just can leave your contacts, and then you will appear in our database, and you will be up to date about all our important dates and other information. Do you have more questions?
I'm currently checking the questions. There is a question about entering to a department because of being from a specific country. No, we don't have any limitations on that. It's up to you, and you have a full freedom to choose any department you want, and there is no difference which country you are coming from. So even if you are coming from Armenia, you can apply to different majors at LCC, or even from UK, Ukraine, or United States. So it's fully available and no limitations at all.
Yes, that's true. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. The most probably important thing is the document that you provide, and we have to make sure that you have a right qualification for higher education in Lithuania.
And when the time comes, when you are accepted, register office and the admissions team will contact you and tell you how to provide the qualification documents and pass through the process. So it's pretty simple and easy. You just need to get accepted and follow our informative guidelines.
Someone is concerned and is asking, are students being bullied at the university? Have you experienced this?
I have never experienced that, and I think no, because we are a really good community, really strong, and we always work together. We are always there for each other. And if there are any situations when you are anxious or you are feeling bad or sad, we have also emotional counselors at LCC who are always ready to help you, and you can sign up for the meetings for them.
Okay. And another question related to student life. I know that you are living on campus, right?
Not anymore.
No,
I
not
used to for 2 years.
Okay, you lived on campus for 2
Yes.
years. So just a side note that we have 2 resident halls, and most of our students actually choose to live on campus. I would say that 70% of all students are living on campus, and rooms are shared. There are 4, 5, or 6 people. So it's like a small apartment with 2 rooms, and later on we'll have a video to introduce you how it looks like. So students have roommates. So when you were living on campus, were you able to choose roommates?
When you get to LCC in the first year, you also provide information for specific requirements, what type of people would you like to live. So general request, which is always being considered by the residence life at LCC. And after the first year, when the academic year is finished, you have the option to group up with people, choose roommates, and sign up for a room either in Newman or Ernst building and dormitory. And that's how you choose your roommates. So you have the option after the first year, but the first year when you come as a freshman, you get allocated with different international students in one room. So we also keep the international atmosphere in the rooms too.
Yeah, so before you come to study at LCC, and if during your first year, you are allowed to choose one roommate.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not allowed to choose more. So because we want you to put with other people who are from other countries so that you would get the most from this international experience.
And I strongly recommend you to stay in dorms for the first year at least, because the experience of being in dorms and being surrounded by people, always communicating, studying together, going to places together, just makes your life at LCC much better.
Do we have to pay? Do students pay for the dorm?
Yes, dormitory has a fixed pricing. It is around 400 euros per semester. So it covers all your stay for 1 semester. And you live either in Newman or Ernst, so the price is the same. And you have either 4 or 3 or 2 roommates, depending on which side of the room you are. So the rooms are separated. You are allocated on floors, which floors have resident assistants who are also students, who live with students and they are current students. And you have a big, really good kitchens where you just come together, cook together, have dinners, or even sometimes organize events together.
Mm-hmm. There are more questions coming in about the dormitories. Which dorm is better to choose? Well, Gevorg will also share his opinion, but the first year students, freshmen as we call them, they all are housed in our Newman Hall for the first year. But which dormitory is better for you?
I wouldn't separate them because it all depends with whom you are living. So it's just the people that surround you and you'll make your experience better. But my for the first 2 years that I stayed indoors, I used to live in Newman building, so it's pretty close to me right now in the Newman.
And are the dormitories same-sex or universal?
The dorm building includes also female and male students, but the rooms are only male or only female. But on the same floor, you can have different roommates and female and male rooms at the same time. So,
but same sex in one room, but
yeah.
It's not mixed. Rooms are not mixed. So
yep.
Just
the rooms
to
are not
clarify
mixed.
Can you please tell me if there are any debates society at LCC?
We have debates club at LCC, which operate, and you can definitely join them.
Mm-hmm. What is the rank of the university? Well, LCC is a private, small university, so we are not even ranked because it wouldn't be fair to rank a university, which is private university, small university, to bigger university. So it's, I would say, unrankable in this way.
Yeah. You can't explain and describe LCC with a ranking.
Yeah, well, LCC is a unique place for students who like to be active, who want to be leaders, who want to be noticed. So LCC is not a big university. There are around 650 students, 700 students. So we know each other. Our classes are small. There are 15, 20 students per classroom. So you get to ask questions. Professors know your name. So if you're looking for experience, when you want to be in a big classroom full of 200 students and sit at the back, know that no one would notice if you're in class or not. So LCC is not an option for you. So you better then choose a bigger university. But if you want to grow, be noticed, if you have ideas, if you want to be part of community, if you want to have close relationship with your classmates, with your professors, so LCC would be actually that kind of place for you.
There is a really interesting question. How would I feel being younger than the rest of the students? So that's a really interesting question.
Well, how young? Well, our youngest students are 16 because we have quite a lot of students from Ukraine, and there's quite a big population of those students. So usually they graduate high school when they are 16 and 17. So I don't know if there are youngest students. So then I guess the youngest you graduate high school would be 16. So we have plenty of students who are 16.
So don't worry about that. The question also relates to professional opportunities that students have in Lithuania after graduating from LCC. So I would also add to this as a short answer, and then Vidmante may continue, is that after graduating LCC, it's not only about working in Lithuania, but you get education which will let you work anywhere you are, and that's a great perspective for you. And we have many good students who are working in international well-known organizations, and we are really proud of that community.
Mm-hmm. Well, our university always receives various offers from employees from Klaipeda and Lithuania and other countries, and university offers and announces those offers to the students, but it's always up to the student to use the opportunity to apply and show the best to the employee. So there are opportunities, but also students have to do their part. Other thing is that all students are required to do practicum, and it's a great time when you actually can network. You can go to the local employee and be part of company, of business, or if you're in English major, then you are become part of a school. So from that there also could be connections and opportunities for you to grow professionally. And Yeah, and after graduation, LCC also offers, is part of Erasmus Plus program, where students after graduation can go for a paid internship across Europe. So, and also exchange programs. We have Erasmus Plus exchange program. Students can choose to go for a semester or 2 semesters in other European university and also network there, get connections, get opportunities. And we also have other exchange programs with a university in the United States, Gordon College in Boston. We have exchange program with a university in China, Indonesia, South Korea, Sakartvelo. So there are other international exchange programs where you can go, experience, network, meet people, and all of these small things, they add up to your opportunities in your life.
And it's not only about you traveling and being an exchange student, because LCC every year, every academic semester, we welcome study abroad and Erasmus exchange students who actually stay with you in dorms and share rooms together. So the atmosphere is always changing and life is really vibrant and active at LCC. There is a question, Vidmante, after graduation, what diploma are students getting, American or Lithuanian?
Mm-hmm. Well, LCC is accredited in Lithuania in Europe, so it's you would get Lithuanian European diploma. So currently we are seeking North American accreditation, just maybe more for marketing reasons, but we are fully accredited in Europe, but the diploma is recognized worldwide. So our alumni, when students graduate, they don't have any problems going to other country and continuing the education there. We have students who, after graduation, they go right away to the universities in the United States, or they come back home, they continue their studies there, or in other European countries, or they stay in Lithuania for work reasons or for further studies.
Mm-hmm. Also, talking about the LCC being a Christian university, there is a question that I would like to answer. Not only at LCC we have chapel, which you can attend. There's events taking place on weekly basis, and students are also encouraged and have the opportunity to attend different churches in Lithuania. And one of the biggest churches in Klaipeda is the City Church, but we also have an English church where they serve where the events take place in English. So if you are not understanding in Lithuanian, you're not proficient, you can attend also that church.
Mm-hmm. Well, primarily Lithuania is a Catholic country, so there are a lot of Catholic churches that is depending on your denomination that you belong to. So, and there are also Orthodox churches around, and there are Protestant churches. So there's a variety. Not all of them, they offer services in English, but there are also some that are offering English or at least translation to English. And well, we also, as a Christian university, we on Wednesdays, during lunchtime, we have LCC Chapel. Students who want to take a break, who are Christians, who are active to Christians, so they join chapel. However, it's not mandatory at all. And there's another question that we can answer, which is related to that. And the question sounds, can you shed some light on religious freedom that students from other religions will have at LCC? So LCC is a Christian university. However, we foster an environment that is friendly to everyone. So we mentioned that we accept applications. Doesn't matter where you are coming from. It doesn't matter what kind of religious background or cultural background you are bringing. So we have very diverse community and we celebrate everyone. We as a university, we teach from Christian perspective though, and there are a few Bible courses that all students have to take in order to get broad-based education. However, we have students from Middle East who are practicing Muslims. There are students who are called themselves agnostics or atheists, and many other. Maybe you have to add something to that.
So, what else to say about this? Like, you have the freedom, the LCC provides you the platform, and we encourage differences. and we are really happy to celebrate different cultures at LCC International University.
Yeah, and we have spent here more than almost 2 hours. That's actually quite a lot of time, especially if it's Saturday, right?
Yes.
It's Saturday, and probably you are eager to have lunch, or for some it's probably in evening. We want to be cautious about your time. Our questions are almost done, and there are some questions about specific requirements. So there are specific requirements based on your qualification, but not the specific major that you are choosing. So for more details, you can email us. You can see our contacts. So you can email us at study@LCC, and we will be able to provide you the detailed information. If you want to subscribe and get all the newsletters, or you want to email us, but maybe and also leave your contact, so you can scan the QR code that you see now and leave your questions, leave your contact, and subscribe for more information, and we will be happy to answer those. But our time has come to the end. We want that you would enjoy your weekend. We also want to enjoy our weekend. It was a pleasure introducing you to LCC, Gevorg?
Yes, it feels so good to talk about the university and the life you're experiencing right now. And thank you, Vidmante, for joining and for the opportunity to me and Isaula to present our experiences and from the student perspective how LCC works and what you will be able to experience when you are here. So we thank you all for joining us today. It was really interesting to see all of your questions and provide you all with all information. We hope so we answered. But if you have more, just contact us. We are always there, happy to help you and answer to all of your questions.
Yeah, so we ourselves, we say goodbye. However, if you still have time, our friends, Gevorg's colleagues, students, they have prepared a few videos of Klaipeda and our campus.
Yeah, just feel free to continue watching and experience our campus and how it feels like to live in Klaipeda also. And we'll head to the seaside to get our cup of coffee of the day. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi. Hello, welcome to LCC International University. I'm Anano from Georgia. I'm a senior student studying communications, and I'll be giving you a tour of the building and showing some of the most essential places in the building. So first, let's start with the classroom, because that's where most of the things happen for the students. And now, as you can see, it's kind of empty, but usually it's full of students, and a lot of interesting discussions take place in the classrooms. Now we're moving on to the reception. If you have any questions, if you forgot like in which classroom your class takes place, or if you're wondering if the class is cancelled or anything basically of that sort, you can always ask at the reception, and they will be happy to answer your questions. That's a place where a lot of students gather and just talk to each other and kind of pass their time. Another place where students usually hang out is the lounge behind me. And when students have classes, when students have breaks, between the classes, that's where they usually sit to just like chat and maybe get ready for a quiz, just scroll Instagram, anything basically just to pass their time. before the class. And oh, by the way, if you want to organize anything, maybe start a club, make an event, anything that you want to contribute to the LCC community, you can always come to student council and talk to the members, and they will do their best to help you figure things out. Now we're going to another student lounge. I actually like this one better because it's bigger and it has tables, so if you want to work on any of your papers and you have like a longer break between the classes, you can always do that. And oh, by the way, this is a very famous mirror. Like all of us have taken a selfie, a lot of them, yeah. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. That's all there is to say. And if you don't have your lunch with you and you have a longer break, you can always grab a snack. Not right now, so not always, because now it's empty, but in general, if you want a snack, you can get it here. So now, if you also want to talk to your professors, if you have any questions regarding your paper, if you're not happy with your, grade, anything, you can always come here. Now we're going where, and I'll show you. Here are some of the offices of the professors. That's where they usually have lunch or just hang out, talk to each other. I was wondering if Andrew Jones was here, but he's not, and I had some questions about my thesis. Anyway, if you also have some questions about your paper, and if you're kind of not sure about your writing skills or anything, you can always come to Student Success Center. Okay, the stairs are killing me. But anyway, you can always come to Student Success Center. They have very competent, very, very helpful students working in the center, and they're always more than happy to help you. Let's go in there. Let's see if anyone's there. Math also, not just writing. So, hi. So this is Student Success Center. Usually it also has a lot of people in here, but not right now. So basically, that was it. There are way more places and way more rooms in the building, but I just don't have time to show you everything because I also have my thesis to work on. But I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and I hope it makes you want to come to LCC a bit more than you did. I don't know. Anyway, thanks.
Oh, hello. I was waiting for you actually. So, my name is Dima. I'm sophomore here at LCC. I'm studying international relations, and welcome to Anne's dormitory. Welcome to my room. So basically all of the rooms in Anne's dorm are designed for 4 people. This is 6 people's room, and right now I'm living on 2-person side, and basically this is my room. And you got lucky enough because this is the cleanest my room has ever been, so good job on that. I got lucky enough because I got my bottom bunk bed, which is actually so good because after classes I just can go here and relax and don't have to go up. And also in this room we have 2 similar desks for 2 students who live here with a lot of shelves, so you can put a lot of your stuff here, books, notebooks, everything that you need. We have drawers here. Also we have outlets, so you can charge your laptop, iPhone, whatever you want. And in addition to that, we have 2 drawers, 2 wardrobes, so you can put all your clothes here, which is very useful. You can put your winter jackets, your shoes, everything, so it's very, very useful. Right now let's move to the common space. So this is a common space, and every room in the LCC dorm has common space with a shower and with toilet. Also we have sinks here, and we have a fridge and additional space for your winter jackets or winter boots, whatever you want to put here. And right now let's move to the floor kitchen. So every dorm in LCC has its own kitchen on the floor, and every kitchen has its own theme. So my floor theme is Avengers. So we have decorations for the Avengers, and here we have information desk where you can find all of the information about the events which are happening on campus and so on. So welcome to LCC floor kitchen. This kitchen is actually very big because in Anne's on the floor there are more people living, and We have basically everything here. We have ovens, we have stoves, we have microwave. Also, we have additional drawers here for students. So if you want to put your stuff here, you can get your personal keys. So no worries that something might be lost. And right now, let's move to my favorite zone of the kitchen. It is a lounge for students. So basically, you can just gather all together with your friends. You can play games, hang out together. As a freshman, I lived in ENS as well, and this was my favorite place with my fellow students because we used to hang out here, play games, do homework together. Also, we used to cook together, and this is basically a very nice space to socialize and get to know what's going on campus and just live your best student life. So yeah, this is the tour around the halls and around the dormitory. So thank you very much, and I hope I'll see you in September.
Hi, I'm Leila and I'm the LCC Moose basketball manager here at LCC International University, and I'm here today to show you Michelson Center. Follow me. Here you have the general area of Michelson Center. Over here kids come and take classes of karate and general events happen. Over here you will find our cafeteria where staff and faculty come to eat, as well as students of LCC and outside of LCC. This is where you'll also find the Center of International Education Offices, where students will be able to study all around the world. And if you follow me over in this direction, you will see our wall of fame, in which all our current basketball players and team are hung up on this wall.
Hey guys, my name is Gevorg and I'm an LCC Moose basketball player, and today I'm going to show you our weight room, where we basically start our practices, where we finish them, and where we work out during our work days, where we improve ourselves. So let's come in. So here literally we can do everything, but basically as for basketball players, the main thing for us is just to improve our back, our abs. So we're working out on everything. Basically we can go and I'm going to show you a little bit. So there is a bench press where you can just lift, where you can do different exercises on your chest. Here is a lot of different weights, like dumbbells, so we work out here as well. And we finish up practices with those cartwheels basically every time, because we need to come and do different stretch exercises, so we do yoga exercises just to stretch a little bit.
Hey, I'm Marlene Wall and I'm going to show you the LCC gym facility. Come in. As you can see, we're having a kids basketball camp that has been going on for 3 weeks now. So volunteering basketball camp. This is our big AC, also for the fans can come down, and then all the LCC fans and the local fans come here to watch the games. Like, the atmosphere is really good out here. It's so fantastic. This is our gym. This is all we have. Like, it's the best in Klaipeda.